Just ahead on American Black Journal, the Detroit Jazz Festival celebrates its 37th anniversary. We're going to talk about what's new at this year's festival and get the details on the world-class lineup. Plus, we're going to have a special treat, an in-studio performance by the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars. Stay right there. This is one of my favorite shows of the year. American Black Journal starts right now.
American Black Journal is funded by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, a partner with communities where children come first.
How does diversity bring energy to us all? At DTE Energy, we believe that it's the contributions of all that build great communities. As a company, we grow stronger by welcoming the unique perspectives of everyone. As community members, we support our state's broad culture and heritage. From working closely with women and minority-owned suppliers to embracing our local cultures, DTE Energy is powering diversity. The DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public Television.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. The world's largest free jazz festival takes place in Detroit over the Labor Day weekend. It's the 37th year for the Detroit Jazz Festival. Last year, an estimated 250,000 people attended the popular event, generating millions of dollars for the city's economy. As usual, there is a world-class lineup of performers. Plus, there's something new this year. More people are going to get a chance to enjoy the music thanks to a mobile app that's going to live stream the festival. Here to tell us more is Chris Collins. He's the president and artistic director of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation. He's joined by Jasmine DeForest, sponsorships manager at Rock Ventures, whose portfolio of companies includes the festival's presenting sponsor, Quicken Loans. Thank you guys for being here.
Pleasure's mine.
Yeah, as I said in the open, this is one of my favorite shows of the year, partially because I'm a huge jazz fan, but also because I live downtown and I go to the festival every year, and it is really a special weekend in Detroit. Talk about what we're gonna see this year.
Well, you know, it's kind of a momentous occasion, and it's a great place to announce this because it's the first place we're going to announce it. It's the reason Jasmine and I are together today, in accordance with the missions of both of our companies. Yeah. We're decided to go a step further. Quicken Loans has been a longtime sponsor of the festival, but this year it is the Detroit Jazz Festival presented by Quicken Loans, which is very
a higher level of sponsorship.
Yes,
Right?
yes. We are so excited, and what's perfect about this sponsorship is that we found out that Chris and our team and Quicken Loans, we were already on the same page.
Yeah.
Our thought with this support is the fact that we could help the Jazz Fest bridge the gap between the jazz purists and maybe the newer generation, not necessarily the millennials, but maybe those who might not be as familiar with jazz as you are. And to find out.
You're saying I'm not a young person?
You are. No, you are. We're probably close to the same age.
Right,
you know. And so what was great about this opportunity is that we found out that Chris was already on the same wave. So Chris was already thinking about how can we push the Jazz Fest into the future by bringing in a more eclectic group of artists. So we're excited. Couldn't be more thrilled to be the presenting sponsor this year.
Yeah, that range of artists is one of the things that really defines this festival. And I don't know that much about other jazz festivals, but I get the sense that it's different here in terms of, again, the real broad spectrum of performers.
It's true, and you know, while it's unique that the Detroit Jazz Festival stayed focused on the center of the jazz art, the jazz art is about having one foot in the historical model and always looking towards the future. Yeah. And the diversity of programming, whether you're there to see the great, you know, our artist in residence, great Ron Carter, most recorded jazz bassist in history right here from Detroit, the great guitarist George Benson, up to cats like the Soul Rebels and Surreal on Me and Luciana Souza. I mean, it's a diverse collection of artists and genres and styles that offers everyone at every age a reason to experience the great legacy of this music and also understand the future of the jazz art.
Yeah. So Ron Carter, of course, is the headline of the festival. Talk about his involvement with it. One of my favorite artists. I'm really excited to see him.
I'll tell you, Ron Carter is our artist in residence this year. It's a regular ongoing program we have. And when you talk about Ron, you know, if you go through anyone's jazz record collection, you pull out a dozen records, at least 10 of them will have Ron Carter on it, right? He is a ubiquitous presence in the jazz legacy. Well, Ron has been with us all year. He's spoken at various events. He's worked with high school and college students. He's prepared special programming. And at the Jazz Festival, you'll see the culmination of all those. So he'll play every single night. Opening night with his nonet with 4 cellists. Very interesting group. His trio, his quartet, and closing night that I know you'll be there for is the Ron Carter Big Band out of New York that people rarely get a chance to hear.
Yeah. When you think about downtown Detroit, it's hard not to think about Quicken Loans. I mean, the tremendous impact that those companies have had on changing downtown. It's sort of a marriage of sort of presumptive truth, I guess, with the Jazz Festival then. I mean, because the festival defines the downtown for that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes place right what we call in our backyard. And so bringing in 250,000 plus people, it's great to our city. It's the largest free jazz festival. Gretchen has done such a wonderful job. Everyone loves Gretchen. So we are, I mean, it takes place, it's right between, the footprint is between our backyard, Campus Martius Park. There's the stage over at Cadillac Square, then you have Hart Plaza. And so we're very excited. We, as you know, we've done a lot of development, placemaking, and activation in the downtown area, and through a lot of the things that you see, whether if it's the chairs, whether if it's public space activation at our different public parks. So we're just excited. I mean, this is going to be a great weekend in Detroit.
Yeah. Talk about the mobile app.
This is amazing.
That's a new thing
Detroit
too, right?
Jazz Fest Live, and people can get it at DetroitJazzFest.com. You just go to the website, and it's a website-based app. Works on any mobile device, and not only you get the full schedule and all the details of the festival, but now for the first time you can see and hear and choose between any one of the 4 stages throughout the entire weekend. Check out all the sets. I'm asking people, get it for your friends in California and Texas. Let them see a great Detroit story live unfolding, and let them know it's free, which is amazing.
Well, and we should point out that's what separates this festival from a lot of other jazz festivals around the world, right?
Indeed, and it's singular in that way because nothing is charged for it. Not even once you finish all 4 stages, all 4 days, every night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have jam sessions that go till 2 a.m. with the likes of house bands like the Vanguard Jazz Orchestra and Chris Potter and Harlan Riley and the Mack Avenue All-Stars. You know, that goes till in one room till 2 o'clock. And another event in our 42 Degrees North is a special film event where we are going to be previewing 4 episodes per night of the mid-1950s Nat King Cole television show, where the house band was the Nelson Riddle Orchestra, with Eartha Kitt and Ella Fitzgerald and Jazz at the Philharmonic. And that's connected to Freddie Cole's set on Sunday night, which is with full orchestra, a tribute to the Cole family legacy, Nat and Natalie. It's something not to be missed. But it's a way that people can enjoy the festival well into the late evenings, a real city, a real activation.
You could sit in your living room and
you really can
watch it.
And
watch it. And the app, there's a small charge for the app, but it gives, not only does it give access to the app, it also puts money in the artist's pocket. Artists will all profit from every sale of the app.
Yeah, that's really great. I think I ask you this question every year about jazz and its vitality and its sort of life into the future. Are you optimistic about that we can keep jazz alive and growing in this country when, as Jasmine points out, you know, all millennials who are like, that's my grandparents' music, not mine.
Well, you know, jazz is the beauty of this music. While it started in New Orleans, it had a very particular birthplace. The diaspora into all parts of the United States created regionalism, and that turned into sort of a homogeneous American jazz sound. But now, much like what we talk about in bringing young people, bringing families to Detroit, let's experience Detroit as this rebirth city, jazz is ever evolving. It takes on it morphs with the shape of popular culture moment to moment. And I'm here to tell you, in my life, I've never understood when people say, is jazz dying, especially is jazz dying in Detroit, because it's bristling
Yeah.
in Detroit at every age group, in every corner, in every club, and you hear its influence from Motown music and everything.
Hip hop, everything. I mean, even when you think about hip hop music, I'm a big hip hop fan.
Yeah.
You know, some of the classic songs had samples from jazz artists such as Nina Simone, Miles Davis, George Benson. And so, I mean, I think that he has over probably like 200 hip hop samples. You know, and so.
Well,
I mean,
my favorite hip hop group, A Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
You know, their music is built around jazz samples.
Yes, we got the jazz. I mean,
right?
yeah.
And you know, I tell you, Detroiters, it doesn't matter if I'm in schools or I'm at the Jazz Festival, which, by the way, over 25% are from outside the state. So we're doing an amazing
We've got
thing.
a lot of folks coming into Michigan just to
Exposing
do this.
And what you'll always notice with Detroit audiences, you can see it visually. You start playing music, I don't care if it's hip hop, if it's Motown, if it's jazz, if whatever it is. There's a movement, man.
Yeah.
This city gets it, and they're moving as one. You say, okay, and every artist comments on what an amazing audience we have here in Detroit. That speaks volumes to our patrons.
Right.
And the
Well, and
people
this
that
is this is a defining event for us every year. I feel like it really is one of those weeks where we show our face to the world.
Sure, it really is very special, and it brings together the community at the family level, because it's all about the music. People are usually moving from musical moment to musical moment.
Yeah.
And now with the help of the app, by the way, they can kind of see what's going on at those other stages. Go check it out. But the beauty is there's a real family unity and a very friendly, safe, open environment that occurs, because it's not a lot of loitering going on. It's like going to check something out. And there's nothing I enjoy more than seeing a family with a babe in arms and a 10-year-old and an 18-year-old all enjoying
All at the
Ron
Jazz
Carter.
Festival.
Which is one of the reasons why we support it, is because it brings out such a diverse group, not ethnicity-wise, but age-wise, everything. So it's just such a great opportunity to showcase how beautiful Detroit is.
really remarkable.
Not just the city, but the people of Detroit, you know?
Bravo.
All right, we're going to continue our conversation about the Detroit Jazz Festival a little later in the program, but coming up next, a special performance by the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars. It's right after this look at some important moments in Detroit's Black history.
I'm Ken Coleman with a look back at African American life in Detroit. This week in 1896, legendary attorney Harold Bledsoe was born in Marshall, Texas. In 1964, John Conyers Jr. defeated Richard Austin in a Democratic Party primary contest for Congress. And in 1970, War by Edwin Starr was the nation's #1 pop song. These are significant events this week in Detroit's Black history, taken from the book On This Day, African American Life in Detroit.
The Detroit Jazz Festival has a huge international following, and this year, one of the local bands is going to take part in a sort of musical exchange with Japan. The Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars are going to travel to Yokohama to perform with musicians there, and the Japanese band will play at the Detroit Jazz Festival here. We're pleased to have the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars here today on American Black Journal. What a great performance, of course. Our thanks to Chris Collins on sax, Dwight Adams on trumpet, Marion Hayden on bass, Sean Dobbins on drums, and Cliff Manier on piano. We'll be right back with more on this year's Detroit Jazz Festival. Don't go away. Readers of Jazz Times Magazine recently voted the Detroit Jazz Festival as one of the top 3 jazz festivals in North America, along with the Newport and Monterey festivals. I'm joined today by Jazz Festival President Chris Collins and Jasmine DeForest from Rock Ventures. Chris, of course, we just saw you getting down in the Detroit Jazz All-Stars there. And that exchange that we talked about between you guys and a Japanese group sort of reminds of the international impact of jazz. I was in Spain 2 weeks ago and in Madrid, and a place around the corner from where I was staying was a jazz cafe, and every night they had jazz, and it was really interesting to watch how much their sort of local musical dynamics and taste sort of changed the form for them. Of course, they're doing things that you would see here, but they're doing it in their own way, and that really is what jazz is about.
You know, jazz is always open and embraces the moment above anything, and it's, as an artist, that's the thing you have to let go. You have to let that happen. And so the location, the regional art, the dynamics of the weather and the people you're playing with has a profound impact on the music, and therefore the music is very regional. And I think it's important with these kind of exchanges that we're exporting the Detroit sound, and we're responding by bringing our colleagues from other countries in to play at our festival and showing them opportunities where we can relate to one another, which we will do on a couple sets.
And that the Japanese group is going to be here for the festival playing with you guys on the stage, right?
They are. Not only do they have their own feature set, but we'll be doing East Meets West on Monday at 12:15 at the Chase stage, where we're just going to have a jam session with both bands together and some guests from Detroit. And then we're also going to have several of the dignitaries from the Consul General's office and from the Yokohama Jazz Promenade, all hanging out and getting a chance to experience how wonderful our city and, as you put it, Jasmine, our people are.
Yeah. And the year-long nature of Jazz Festival, which is one of the things I want to talk about now, is one of the things that attracted you guys to the level of sponsorship you're at.
Yes, yes, and not to mention just our sponsorship. We also have Greektown Casino Hotel, who's also a sponsor, along with Bedrock Detroit. And so this is kind of a team effort with us in supporting the Detroit Jazz Festival. And one of the things is, it's not just about getting our name or our logo on an event. We really care about the community and making a community impact. And I believe that that is the real return on our investment, is the fact that we're supporting an organization, a historic event that also makes a community impact throughout the year. So it's not just Labor Day weekend. And Chris can attest to all of the different activities.
Talk about some of the things that go
on.
on. I mean, it's an impressive list.
Well, it's exciting. All year we do education through our infusion program in the Detroit Public Schools. We're in up to 7 schools every week, and people like Marion Hayden, who you just saw play, she's one of our educators in residence. We also have mentor series that take place not only at the grade school levels, but at the college level. So we have a performance that's culminating at the festival. And by the way, we try to do culminations at the festival so everyone can see what's been going on all year. So Randy Weston and his the celebration of his 90th birthday, he'll be accompanied by the Wayne State University Big Band. Jimmy Heath is claimed to be showing up on that set as well, because it's also his 90th birthday.
Wow.
And then we have all of our competitions that will round out at the festival. So we have a youth vocal competition in Detroit. You'll see our winners, Jack Williams and Atea Whitehead, will be singing with big band right before Randy's set. We also have the winner of the Ron Carter National Bass Competition, who was up to 35 years old. So these were serious players.
Wow.
And Cole Davis won and will be performing with his group at the festival on Saturday, I believe. So it's a real opportunity not only to get a sense of the high schools and colleges that have been impacted, but our mentoring programs, the All-Stars from our Jazz Week at Wayne program, which is our summer program. And I want to point out, all these programs are free.
Yeah.
To the students, it's based on talent. They have to audition to get in. But thanks to the sponsorship that we get from Quicken Loans and others, we're able to continue to offer the year-round experience at no cost. And as you know, any barrier that is set up will exclude some.
Oh, sure. No, we see that with
Definitely.
other festivals. I mean, you think of the other festivals here in Detroit, and the way they've struggled with, you know, free versus ticketed admission. It changes the numbers and it changes the dynamic
Yeah.
around the festivals.
Yeah, it's amazing that Chris and Gretchen and team have been able to keep this festival free.
Free, I know.
Free. I don't think that people realize that this is the largest free jazz festival, and it's not just like your regular run-of-the-mill artists. These are legends that are coming to this festival.
Yeah.
So it's prime entertainment. So
Well, and it brings so many of our great Detroit artists too, because we do an open process. I have jam sessions throughout the year, so I can meet any new players I haven't heard yet, and I encourage all the artists. Let's talk about what you want to do, and let's look at the Detroit Jazz Festival as that premier moment to do that new thing that you want to do. And then we're also mixing in our wonderful orchestral musicians. We're doing Roy Hargrove with strings this year, all new works by Gil Goldstein for Roy, and we're doing the Freddie Cole piece with orchestra. But that's featuring our Detroit Jazz Fest String Orchestra, which are all the great orchestral musicians in Detroit. It really brings the family together. In a
Well,
special
and that adding that sort of orchestral dynamic again shows that diversity of the jazz, right?
Well, and you were involved in one of our big pieces
I was
last year. Narrator for the Vivaldi.
I still have very, very great dreams about being
Wonderful.
up
I love
there
it.
with them and reading from those sonnets about the Vivaldi piece, which was just amazing. I mean, you know, I had some friends from out of town who came and watched, and they just were blown away. They had never been to the Jazz Festival before, but I think they had something very different in mind when I said Detroit Jazz Festival.
Well, when I tell people, you know, we don't sell tickets, but what we sell is the originality of the programming. So we work all year. I'm flying around with doing rehearsals, writing music all year round, so that these performances that people see, not all of them, of course, but many of them are custom commissioned or designed or premiered specifically at the Detroit Festival. Therefore, people from any in the world, no matter what festivals they're used to going to, they come to Detroit, they're going to see and hear things that they can't see at any price.
Anywhere else, yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I think keeps it on top,
Yes.
is that idea of originality and
Yes.
new. Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Well, good luck to both of you. Congratulations on the sponsorship.
Thank
That's a
you.
great.
Thank you.
It's a great marriage. I think
It is. We're excited.
I'm sure it will yield lots of things in the future too.
Thank you.
So, all right. That's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information about our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org, and you can always connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll see you next time.